And we're live. Welcome everybody for this live stream on the latest news on Web3. I'm Julian. I don't eat the blogs. I help you to become a Web3 expert so that you can make more money, gain more freedom, and work on projects that you love. So first, let me know if you can hear me in the chat and let me know where you are from. Is there anybody in the chat today? So if you are new here, the first step before we do anything, the first step is that you register for my free masterclass where you're gonna learn how you can get prepared for the next bull market. So right now we are between two bull market and this is the best time to get started in crypto. And so in this free masterclass, I will explain you the full roadmap that you need to follow in order to become a professional Web3 developer and find your first six-figure job in the industry. So we start to have some people in the chat. We have Tebo, we have Kitty Lancer, we have Jama Beans. Hello, good morning, good afternoon. I know that you guys following me from everywhere. So we're gonna start by covering the market. So it was a week of decrease, unfortunately, and that's because we got the latest news, the latest figure from inflation that rose more than expected. People were expecting inflation to keep decreasing in line with the previous months. So now people are afraid that we might have a second wave of inflation. And yeah, and so that's so perhaps the market is going to reverse. We will see. And yeah, so this is basically what is happening. So here next we have some news about NFT on Bitcoin. So I already told you about ordinals before. So ordinal is awesome. NFT on Bitcoins that got really popular. And so now we start to see some other projects that do the same thing, like Yuga Labs, the creator of Bored Ape Yacht Club, and they just released their own NFT project on Bitcoin, and it got sold out right away. So really big success there. And by the way, because of all this hype around NFT on Bitcoin, there is a token that start to take off, and that's the stack token. So basically the stack, it's a layer 2 smart contract chain for Bitcoin, and it started to pump since the past few weeks. So next, we get some bad news from the director of the SEC, Gary Gensler. So Gary Gensler is very much on a crusade against crypto recently, and so he did an interview with this magazine where basically he stated that everything is a security except Bitcoin. So the exact quote is everything other than Bitcoin, where you can find a website, you can find a group of entrepreneurs. They might set up their legal entities in a tax haven offshore. They might have a foundation. They might lawyer it up. They try arbitrage, blah blah blah. And so he considered that everything is a security. But more and more people start to be really dissatisfied with Gary. So it's not sure that it's going to stay at the head of the SEC for very long, or at least I don't hope so. So then we're gonna talk of stablecoin because we do have some trouble of a stablecoin recently. So first of all, Aave decided to freeze BUSD, and that's of course following all the feud that happened with BSD in the previous weeks. Another bad news regarding MakerDAO. So 1 year ago, there was a famous hack that exploited a token breach between Ethereum and Solana. And so that was one of the biggest hack ever. It was more than $300 million. It was called the wormhole hack. And if you fast forward 1 year, what happened is that the money of this hack was moved to a pool on Oasis, which is a DEX that is managed by the MakerDAO protocol. And a court in the UK just ordered MakerDAO to get the money back by basically hacking themselves. So what the Oasis did, basically they are governed by a multi-sig wallet. So because they can decide to update the smart contracts through this multi-sig, so theoretically it's possible to get the money back. So it's what they did. They voted to update the smart contract as well as another counterparty, Jump Crypto. And thanks to this, they introduced basically a vulnerability so that they can take the money back from the wormhole hacker. And so this is the first time that there is a change that is introduced because of a court order, and it's a very disturbing precedent. And of course, after this incident, crypto Twitter was really shocked by this, and people started to question the validity of DAI, which is also controlled by MakerDAO. But yeah, I'm afraid that this is going to set a precedent, and so perhaps that in the future we'll have a protocol that cannot be updated at all, because otherwise you see what can happen. So yeah, a lot of bad news about stablecoin recently, but not only because we have some more positive news for USDC. USDC is doing very well. They made billions in passive income thanks to their reserve, which are mostly short-term bonds from the US government. And they are doing so well that they're actually increasing their staff of 25%. And that's, of course, exactly the opposite of a lot of other crypto projects. And the use of USDC is also increasing. For example, MasterCard just allowed the payment with USDC. We also know that they don't really have issue with regulators at the moment. That's very different from other stablecoin. And actually, it suggests that perhaps regulators ultimately hope that all other stablecoins issuer are eliminated, and at the end, they just keep Circle and USDC, which will make it easier for them to control crypto. That's a theory that more and more people start to believe. And actually, Vitalik Buterin start to be concerned about the domination of USDC, because in the future, if USDC control a really big share of the market, they will have tremendous power about the evolution of the Ethereum protocol. So next, we have some news about the next upgrade of Ethereum. So the next upgrade is about the unstaking. And so the unstaking feature was just released on a testnet of Ethereum. And so if all goes well on this testnet, the next step will be to do the actual update on the mainnet. So it's going to be a really, really big milestone. So next, we have some updates regarding another testnet of Ethereum, Girly. So there was a new project last week that started to sell Girly testnet for real money. And that was a huge backlash in the community, because so you have all these famous Ethereum developers who were super pissed. And after that, of course, they started to say to not use Girly in order to not set the precedent of this monetization of testnet. So testnet are public good. Everybody are supposed to use them for free, but unfortunately, they are also very unreliable. Very often, it's difficult, if not impossible, to get testnet ether from a faucet. The faucet is often down, and there are often some issue. So you can say that selling this testnet ether does solve the problem, but it really introduced a bad precedent, because now it's going to prevent many developers from using this testnet. So we'll see what happens, but I don't think, even though this is a solution, I don't think this is the best solution. So hopefully we are not going in this direction long term. All right, so next we are going to cover this new blockchain released by Coinbase. This is one of the biggest news of the week. So that's another layer 2 chain for Ethereum that is based on the tech stack of Optimism. They have no plan to issue a token at the moment. And so there are already a lot of other layer 2, but the big added value of this layer 2 compared to others is that they will integrate it, so its name is Base. They will integrate Base with their exchange. So that means that in the future, it will be possible for some selected project to appear in the user interface of Coinbase to allow users, traders to buy and sell, use this DeFi project directly from Coinbase. So it would make it way easier to get users. And they will also create a fund to support builders on Base. So basically, it kind of reminds me of Binance Smart Chain at the beginning, except that this time it's better because it's not its own blockchain, but that's a layer 2 on Ethereum, so that they didn't do the mistake of Binance Smart Chain. So I think this is really smart. And and Coinbase so far has been great at building products. So yeah, I'm super excited about this new layer 2. All right, so still about layer 2. So we're gonna cover some news about Arbitrum. So Arbitrum flipped Ethereum this week for the number of transactions in a single day, and that's a huge milestone because that shows you the importance of layer 2 chain in the Ethereum ecosystem. So if you are a Web3 developer, it's becoming more and more important to have some experience to build on this layer 2 chain, and in most cases it's very similar to building on Ethereum. And next we have this new release of Solidity. So the notable feature this week is that you can now define custom operators for custom types. So I'll probably do a quick video on this. I'm not a big fan of this because I think that you can easily shoot yourself in the foot. But we will see how people are going to use this feature. All right, so here, quick reminder, if you are new here and you want to get into Web3, you absolutely have to take my free masterclass. So I'm going to put the link in the chat, idtheblocks.com/masterclass. And so this is going to give you a full roadmap to for what to study to get into Web3 and how to get your first job in the industry. All right, so let's see if we have any question in the chat. So Kitty Lancer, been blockchain and crypto since 2017. I'm working in marketing. Great to connect with you. Awesome. THX, good to see you. Rana Paul, how to get blockchain developer job without any experience. So check out my masterclass. You're gonna get a full roadmap that explains that. Jama, we should do a group project for Eat the Blocks. Yeah, that is a great idea. I kind of tried to do this last year when I launched the ETB token, but unfortunately I didn't have time to follow through this. But yeah, it's a really good idea. All right, guys. Is there any other question, any reaction regarding the news of this week? Yes, no, yes, no. All right, so keep building, keep learning, and we are going to stop here. There is no more question. Oh, one question. So David, what is the best stack to make a DeFi project? Yeah, so the standard stack, Hot, Solidity, React, Next.js. These days, more and more people like to use this alternative framework called Foundry. So it's an alternative to Hot. You can check it out. It's not as simple as Hot, but it's definitely more powerful, and all the senior devs, it's what they're using at the moment. Tebo, great news. Thanks, Julian. Welcome. David, why layer 2 are so important? They are so important because in the future, most transaction, most application will be on layer 2. They will not be on Ethereum. So really, most dApps in the future that will be first deployed on layer 2. And the only dApp that will be deployed first on L1 will be the application that maybe are more like for whales or for really huge transaction. But yeah, this is how I see it. Sugandhi is, I got a note from Unblock Slabs. Okay, so yeah, you can see. Yeah, this is. I think we already discussed this. Yeah. All right. So David Tech, I'm sorry, I will make it more certain what blockchain is better suitable for DeFi app. Okay. All right. Any other question? No? Okay. So we are going to stop here. All right, guys. So thanks for coming on the channel today, and I will see you soon.